Hey everyone, Sophia here from My Great Challenge. Welcome back to my channel and another adventure in mediocre baking or cooking. I'm not feeling good. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday. I have been nursing the same headache slash migraine since yesterday. And I know where it's coming from. It's from me having to wear that stupid N95, was stupid, life-saving N95 when I do my outreaches in the community. I just can't breathe in it and it just gives me a massive headache, and no amount of medication is helping me this time around, and that includes codeine. It didn't do anything. Well, I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but every 2-3 hours I'm taking new meds and it's like, couldn't sleep. Anyway, what am I doing today? A keto, I don't know. I don't do keto, I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm not doing that very obviously. Okay. But here's the story. A certain somebody we know and love, Tubby, is under quarantine since yesterday. We are waiting a COVID test result for him. And you know he's diabetic, so I'm kind of going back and forth in full hazmat suit to go and help him out and bring him food and whatnot. So I'm making him two things today, and that's going to be two separate videos. One, I'm making a keto bread. That's basically a low carb bread. It's no flour in it. It's high fat, low carb, full of protein bread. It's in the oven right now. It's smelling really good, and actually I think it's gonna look good and taste good too. So that's the recipe I'm doing today. And then in the next video, which is really in 10-15 minutes for me, I'm going to make a low carb chicken soup. So instead of being noodles, it's cauliflower, riced cauliflower. So I'm gonna do that, and then once that's done, I'm gonna pack it up and drive it over next town for him to have food for tonight and tomorrow, because he's not doing too well. So we'll see. So was I exposed to COVID? I don't know, because I mean I could be exposed by any of my patients, to be honest. And me being in the community, so you know, there's no DNA tracing as to who gives it to who. So far I don't have any symptoms or anything, neither anybody in the family. I just got a really bad headache, but again, it's coming from the N95. Nurses out there, you know, medical personnel, boy do I love you today more than ever, and I always admired you. I don't know how you wear that stuff for 10 hours 12-hour shift. I really don't, because the little bit that I'm wearing mine, let's say I go out around 10:30 up until maybe 2:30 in the afternoon, so 5-something hours, and I am suffocating, headache. I'm seeing double sometimes. It's so bad, and it's just, So big shout out to all of the medical personnel right now. You guys probably want an update, right? Because you know, some of you are not in the country, so you don't follow up. New Jersey not doing too good, guys. We had 81,000 plus cases, and we passed 4,000 deaths in New Jersey alone. And in my town, as of today, we have 75 cases. Now, granted, there's less than 75 streets. It's a small town. My town is less than 2 square miles, okay? I think it's actually maybe 1.5 square miles. It's a very small town in New Jersey. There's less than 75 streets, okay? So we basically have 1 COVID case per street in my town, and we already have 5 deaths. So it's creeping on us, and it's getting scarier and scarier by the minute. I know people want to go out. I know we all want this whole lockdown to be over. Come on, let's sacrifice another 2-3 weeks before this thing blows over, because I just, it's not looking good for us, at least not for us. It's not looking good. Anyway, I got another 5 minutes or so on the bread. Let me show you the ingredients and the recipe. It's super easy. I mean, super easy. And if it's good, guess what? I'm gonna make it over and over again. I want to find out if you can freeze it too, because if you can, then I'm gonna freeze a whole bunch of it. All right. Get your pen and paper ready. Super easy recipe for keto, low carb, high protein bread. So let's get started with the ingredient. This is the ingredients you're going to need to make a keto bread or a low carb bread. Flour, obviously we're not using regular flour. This is 2 cups of almond flour. It tastes like almond. It's basically grounded up almond. That's all it is. Tastes pretty good. I like it. Need 7 eggs, and I'm only using the white, so we'll have to separate the eggs. In this dish here, I have 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a 1/2 tablespoon of cream of tartar, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And cream of tartar is this thing here you find at the spice department, and it makes light and fluffy desserts, so it's basically going to fluff up the bread. 1 full stick of butter. You want to try to get the unsalted variety because you're already putting salt in it. And this is 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then you need some liquid sweetener. This is the Truvia. You can also find the stevia, but this is the liquid variety, and you only need a 1/2 teaspoon for that. So first thing we need to do is separate the yolks from the whites, and we're going to beat the egg whites to nice and fluffy with kind of like flexible points. Well, you know what I'm talking about. So let's do that first. All right, separating my eggs. So remember, you need 7 eggs. Okay, so that's done. See, that's what I mean by soft little points. In the meantime, I'm going to melt my butter with the 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. And it's easy. Just put that in the microwave under the melt function. Be right back. So while the butter is melting, I'm going to mix my dry ingredients. So I have my flour here, the cream of tartar, the baking powder, and the salt. And I'm going to start incorporating my melted butter to my almond flour. Add the equivalent of a 1/2 teaspoon of my stevia. Now what I'm going to do is slowly incorporate my egg whites. And you don't want to turn, you just want to fold, because the more you're going to turn, the more you'll break the egg whites, and you want to keep the fluff. Like my channel, just keep the fluff going. I'm kidding. Okay, so that's well mixed. Let me get my loaf pan, butter it, and it's ready to go in the oven. Somebody's being real curious over there. Okay, so the oven is at 355 degrees. And I'm going to put this in, and it's going to bake for 45 minutes. I'll see you in a bit. So we're done. It's been 45 minutes. God, I'm so idiotic sometimes. Okay, I had this thing backward. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Looks pretty good, huh? So how do you know if it's baked all the way through? You take your knife, you go right here in the middle, pull it out. If there is no residue of dough on it, it's baked. So it looks nice and, you know, somewhat fluffy. It's a loaf. It smells good. So I'd say it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Let me take a slice so you can see what it looks like on the inside. It's still very, very hot. Looks pretty moist. I'm gonna cut a tiny piece here and let it cool down so that I can try it. Hey, he just turned 18. Happy birthday!
That was 2 days ago.
Well, so how does it taste? It's bread, by the way, it's not a cake.
Oh, I'm joking, it's pretty good. What is this?
It's bread.
Oh.
It tastes just like bread.
Yeah.
Doesn't it taste just
Yeah,
like bread?
Yeah.
That's amazing. It tastes just like bread. It doesn't taste like cake. It almost tastes like wheat bread. That's what it tastes like. It's a little salty. I put too much salt. So let's put less than a half a teaspoon of salt. But this is amazing. I'm definitely making this again. Wow. This was not a fail. This was good. This was really good. This is a good recipe. Do you want to bring that to your dad? You're going up? Bring that to your dad. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to cut half of it and bag it. And I'm going to make my fake chicken noodle soup. My low carb chicken soup. And then I'll go next town over and bring it to Tabby. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I'm very surprised. I really didn't think it was gonna taste good, but it just tastes like a I'm not gonna say high-end, but like a bakery wheat bread, which is ridiculous because there's no wheat in it. It's just the almond flour. It's good. I'm making it again. I really am. I have to see if it freezes well. But the only thing is that it makes small slices, you know, and you can't really do sandwiches with it because it crumbles apart. And it's a tiny bit too salty. Well, at least for me, and even Edward, but neither he or I eat a lot of salt. We're more of a sweet tooth. But yeah, I'm giving this thumbs up. Try it. Try it. Come back. Comment down below. Let me know how you like it.